In an extraordinary turn of events, Indian tourists have launched a boycott against the Maldives. This isn't your typical consumer boycott, mind you. It's a protest sparked by remarks made by 3 Maldivian officials who took to social media to belittle Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They used terms like clown, terrorist, and puppet of Israel. It was a shockwave that reverberated across the Indian community, leading to this unprecedented show of solidarity. But let's wind back a bit. The Maldives, as you may know, is a paradise on earth, a destination that has long enticed tourists from around the globe. But it's not just the azure waters and pristine beaches that make the Maldives special. The nation enjoys a robust relationship with India, its largest source of tourists. In 2023 alone, Indian tourists made up 11% of the Maldives tourism market. So, when the derogatory comments surfaced, the Maldivian government acted swiftly. They suspended the officials and categorically distanced themselves from the remarks, but the damage had been done. The boycott had already started gaining traction on social media, with the Indian celebrities and citizens alike urging people to forego the Maldives and instead explore domestic destinations. The boycott wasn't just limited to social media either. Indian travel site Ease My Trip suspended bookings for flights to the Maldives, and the Confederation of All India Traders called for a suspension of business dealings with the Maldives until an apology was issued. The Maldivian government, recognizing the severity of the situation, denounced the officials' remarks and expressed commitment to positive dialogue with partners. This incident comes at a time of sensitive geopolitical maneuvering, with the Maldivian president visiting China to strengthen ties. It's a complex situation, to say the least. The Maldives finds itself in a precarious position, having to balance its relationships with 2 of the world's most populous nations. But as we'll see in the coming scenes, the implications of this boycott are far-reaching, extending beyond the realm of tourism and into the spheres of diplomacy and national identity. The boycott has hit where it hurts the most: the Maldivian tourism industry. The Maldives, a tropical paradise known for its crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches, has found itself in a rather precarious situation. The backbone of the Maldivian economy, the tourism industry, has been jolted by this unexpected boycott from Indian tourists. India, being a significant source of tourists for the Maldives, contributes to a substantial portion of its tourism market. In fact, in the year 2023, Indian tourists made up 11% of the Maldivian tourism market. With the boycott gaining momentum, the potential impact on the Maldivian economy could be quite severe. The effect of the boycott is not just confined to the number of tourists. Indian travel site Ease My Trip has suspended bookings for flights to the Maldives. This move essentially cuts off a major channel for Indians planning to travel to the Maldives, further deepening the impact of the boycott. But the ripple effect of this boycott extends beyond tourism. The Confederation of All India Traders, a significant organization in the Indian business community, has called for a suspension of business with the island nation. This call to action could potentially affect the trade relations between the 2 countries, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. The Maldivian government now finds itself in a tough spot. On one hand, they have to deal with the fallout of the boycott and the potential economic repercussions. On the other, they are in the middle of strengthening ties with China, a move that might not sit well with India. The Maldivian government is in a precarious position, having to balance its relationships with both India and China. Social media has played a pivotal role in this boycott, amplifying it to a level that could not be ignored. It's a fascinating case study in how digital platforms can shape public discourse and action. The boycott, which began as a response to derogatory social media comments by 3 Maldivian officials, soon snowballed into a movement thanks to the power of social media. The incident sparked outrage among Indian citizens, and the reaction was swift and decisive. Social media became the primary conduit for expressing their displeasure and rallying support for the boycott. Indian celebrities, influencers, and everyday individuals took to various platforms, urging others to show solidarity by visiting domestic destinations instead of the Maldives. Their voices echoed across the digital landscape, reaching millions of followers and creating a ripple effect. One of the key factors that fueled the boycott was the rate at which the news spread on social media. The immediacy and reach of these platforms meant that the message was disseminated far and wide in a matter of hours. The hashtag #BoycottMaldives trended on Twitter. Facebook posts were shared thousands of times, and Instagram stories kept the conversation going. But it wasn't just about spreading the word. Social media also provided a platform for dialogue and debate. Users shared their views, engaged in discussions, and even proposed alternative travel destinations within India. This collective decision-making process showcased the power of social media in shaping public opinion and influencing actions. Interestingly, this incident also highlighted the role of businesses in the social media landscape. Indian travel site Ease My Trip, for instance, suspended bookings for flights to the Maldives, reflecting their commitment to their customer sentiments. The Confederation of All India Traders also called for a suspension of business with the Maldives, a move that was widely shared and applauded on social media. In today's digital age, the impact of social media on such situations is undeniable. It can amplify voices, shape opinions, and drive action. As we've seen in this case, it can even influence international relations and tourism trends. While the boycott continues, diplomatic efforts are underway to manage the situation. The world of diplomacy, as we know, is a delicate dance of words and actions. In the face of this boycott, the Maldivian government's reaction has been swift and clear. They have denounced the offending remarks made by their officials, distancing themselves from such unprofessional conduct. It's an open acknowledgement that the words were inappropriate and disrespectful. They have also expressed their commitment to positive dialogue. In diplomatic parlance, this is an invitation for discussion, a signal that they are ready to engage in talks to resolve the issue. It shows their willingness to take responsibility and work towards mending the strained relations. On the other side of the sea, the Indian High Commission in Maldives has not been silent either. They have raised their concerns with the Maldivian Foreign Office, voicing the sentiments of their people. This step is significant as it formalizes the issue at a governmental level, moving it from just a social media uproar to a diplomatic concern. The Indian High Commission's actions highlight the seriousness of the situation and the need for a resolution. It's a call to the Maldivian government to address the situation in a way that respects and acknowledges the sentiments of the Indian people. While the waves of this controversy continue to swell, the players involved are diligently navigating the choppy diplomatic waters. It's a challenging situation, but diplomacy is all about finding common ground among differences, about turning discord into harmony. Experts believe that the Maldivian government values its relationship with India and will seek to repair this dent in their relations. After all, the ties between nations are not just about today or tomorrow, but about a shared history and a shared future. This incident, as regrettable as it is, offers an opportunity for both nations to reaffirm their commitment to mutual respect and understanding. While it remains to be seen how long this boycott will last, the immediate impact is already being felt. We've taken a deep dive into the unprecedented boycott of the Maldives by Indian tourists, sparked by the derogatory comments made by 3 Maldivian officials about Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This incident has stirred a wave of nationalistic sentiments among Indian citizens, leading to a significant drop in tourism to the Maldives, a country that heavily relies on this industry. The power of social media in this situation cannot be understated. It has been the catalyst, spreading the call to boycott far and wide. Celebrities and ordinary citizens alike have taken up the cause, urging people to explore domestic destinations instead. This has resulted in notable travel companies like EaseMyTrip suspending bookings for flights to the Maldives. On the diplomatic front, responses have been swift and decisive. The Maldivian government quickly distanced itself from the offensive remarks, suspended the officials in question, and expressed commitment to positive dialogue. Meanwhile, the Indian High Commission in Maldives raised concerns with the Maldivian Foreign Office. Looking ahead, there are a few potential outcomes. The Maldivian government might issue a formal apology, which could lead to the resumption of tourism and trade activities. Alternatively, the boycott could continue, pushing the Maldives to strengthen ties with other nations. It's a balancing act, and the Maldivian government will have to tread carefully to maintain its relationships. In the end, this situation serves as a stark reminder of the power of public sentiment and the impact it can have on international relationships. While the diplomatic wheels turn behind the scenes, it's the everyday people who can bring about significant change with their choices. As we watch this situation unfold, one thing is clear: actions have consequences, and in the world of international diplomacy, those consequences can be far-reaching.